How's it going, guys? TJ here with a promised video for T2 cardarine stack. So myself, I've used T2 two times. Cardarine, it's something that I use on and off throughout the entire year, ever since I've discovered it, which is now probably 2.5 years or so. I have noticed big differences in my physique, and I know I can accredit some of it to the cardarine. T2, I can accredit it to while I was using it. I definitely noticed differences. And so I'm just going to touch on some of this stuff real quick in my experiences. Now, T2. T2 is a thyroid hormone. And basically, what it does is it stimulates the thyroid gland. When you stimulate the thyroid gland, what happens is it makes it easier for you to lose weight because your metabolism is increased. So, with an increased metabolism, you should be able to diet properly, train adequately, and easily lose weight. That's the concept, and that's the thought behind it. So, in my experience and how I used it with best result, I took the first 2 weeks and I tried to dial in my sweet spot. I knew I was in my sweet spot when my body temperature went up and I started to feel, sweaty throughout the day more so, and just feel like my body almost was like a furnace. It took over that feeling of it was just constantly burning stuff, burn, and you can feel it. If you guys, when you guys pick it up and start taking it, you'll see. But basically, you find within that first 2 weeks, find your sweet spot. Then you hang on to that sweet spot, and after about 3 to 4 weeks in, you're going to notice that you're constantly hot and you're constantly sweating, which that means, you're burning fat, your metabolism's up. It's an increased metabolic rate, basically, is what that is. And that's what we're looking for out of the T2. And the best way to do it, also, to save you guys some time, is to dose it higher than you ever would any other thyroid drug. So dose it higher than you would a T3. Definitely needed because T2 isn't as harsh on the body. It also isn't as strong. So it's needed to be taken in a higher dose to get similar effect. And you can achieve similar effect to T3 with T2 with a high dose. Basically, what I noticed was with a high dose of T2 pre-contest, it helped me get that paper thin skin look. And that's something that I don't know if I could achieve without it, but it definitely helped me get there. And it's a great compound for guys who are hitting the stage, great compound for guys who are hitting the beach and trying to drop, a couple percent body fat. Guys 20% body fat or over, you might not see too much out of it, but leaner guys, you'll definitely see, some result there. Boston Lloyd is a advocate of T2. He recommends his clients to use T2. He uses T2 himself, and if you guys don't know Boston, he doesn't waste time using shit that doesn't work, and he's very quick to call bullshit on junk supplements and praise supplements that actually work. One thing I like about him, he's a pioneer in the bodybuilding industry, as he was probably the first person to come out and tell the truth about the dosages the pros use, the compounds the pros use, etc. So Boston likes it, and it's worked for him. And for him to come out and say that, it says a lot about T2 as a product as a whole. So that's what I know about T2. Now, cardarine. Cardarine has been around for a while. A lot of you guys have probably taken it. A lot of you guys probably like it. I love it. What I've noticed with cardarine, because I consider myself a long-term user, I've used it on and off, but mainly on for the last 2.5 years or so, and I have steadily dropped body fat. I have not gained body fat, even in an off season, in the last 2.5 years. Cardarine being one of the only things different. other supplements were always being used for me anyway, but cardarine is something that once I picked it up, it seemed like my body fat continued to slowly decline, slowly, and now, excuse me, here I am 2.5 years later and much leaner. Probably not the best light, but I got a little bit here. I'm not dieting, but as you can see, my abs, they never really leave. And that is something that has come with years of hard work, training, not necessarily eating the greatest all the time, but I think cardarine having something to do with long-term fat burning. It keeps you dense when you're in a calorie deficit as well, which is something that's pretty awesome because you can be, when you're dense and you have a pump, but you're in a calorie deficit and you're cutting weight, it makes you feel good, number one, and it makes you look even better, number two. I've noticed, and in my opinion, that cardarine, my guess is that it increases your endurance by about 150% and almost immediately after ingesting it within the first dose. So it's amazing. If for cardio, you take cardarine, get on that treadmill, and you can go and go and go. Now, that isn't always the greatest thing, and you have to watch because guys who are trying to put size on and to get a good pump, I noticed that if I take too much, I can't get a pump. So I use a low dosage, 10 milligrams per day, and it's enough to give me great endurance, but allow me to still get and maintain a pump. And that's very important for, gaining size as well. So that too has to be taken into account. Now, everybody always comes back to this with cardarine. Well, it gives you cancer. Just to clear everything up with that, guys, there are supposed links to cancer in cardarine, but the test that they used was on lab rats that were given, I think, 20 times what's recommended for the human performance enhancing dose, pound for pound, for each rat. And not every single rat got cancer, but a couple of them did. Now, basically, we would have to take like pounds of cardarine per day in order to make that test to replicate it with humans. And we would never do that. Like I said, 10 milligrams is enough for me. So that being said, I really believe that it's bullshit, and that's just another way of the government trying to, keep their thumb on us and make it so we can't get our hands on this because, cardarine can help people get in shape. Cardarine could help people with type 2 diabetes. Hell, who knows? Might even help people get off insulin. It's crazy, but this country, they want us all on their drugs. They want us all on insulin. They want us overweight. And it's sad, but it's true. So, when using these two compounds together, I have had amazing results with long-term cardarine usage on and off for the last 2.5 years. I've been able to get myself to a comfortable spot to where I maintain a six-pack all year, and also using T2 on top of the cardarine for contest preps to really drop that last 1 to 2% and to make myself look good on the stage. So that's everything that I have for you on T2 and cardarine. Do I recommend you guys stack it? Absolutely. Do I recommend you use it if you are over 20% body fat? No, I do not. I think you should focus on your diet and your training. But if you are, 15% body fat and looking for a little bit better of a beach body, by all means, do it. getting on stage, like I said, looking for that last couple percent body fat, do it. These two compounds will absolutely help you achieve your goals, and I really hope to see you guys do that. TJ with Narrows Labs. Don't forget to use my code TJ25 at checkout, and you will get 10% off of, or I apologize, 25% off of your order, as well as free shipping. So with that, you guys enjoy your evening. Have a good one. Over and out.